Our guest tonight is one of the most celebrated fighters today. On Friday, she will be in action at the Mall of Asia Arena for ONE FC's Warriors Way. And yes, she is from the Bay Area. Maybe that's why it's called Warriors Way. Welcome to Sports Desk, the Hurricane, Ana Julaton. It's nice to finally have you here in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, thank goodness that you actually showed up. I was worried, like, is she gonna show up? You know, fight night's pretty near. But anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to your career when you growing up and how when you started with the sport of boxing. How did that? Because it's not a sport that young girls would be normally get attracted to. Normally they soccer, other sports, but boxing was your first love.
I was actually a martial artist as a child, so I started that with my father. We did Taekwondo. I got my black belt through that, and then I ended up moving into Kempo Karate. It's more traditional, but they wanted to incorporate boxing, and that's how I was able to meet my current boxing coach, Angelo Reyes. And through there, I figure why not step into the ring and just try out my skills.
Which, well, you've done pretty well. You did pretty well in your boxing career, and then you went pro, and you won the WBO, the IBF title as well. Put us there in those moments when you were fighting for the belts.
It's amazing. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. When I won my first title, I was crying in the ring. It was the first time in the Bay Area they had a female headline for boxing. And it was nice to have the Filipino community come out. There was a lot of people out there. The support was great. And just to have everything just happen the way that it did, it's something that I'll never forget.
With boxing now an Olympic sport, women's boxing,
yes,
an Olympic sport, what does it mean to you that it's been recognized by the Olympic Committee?
Oh, finally.
Yeah, it's about time, huh?
Absolutely. I've waited for a long time when I was an amateur to have that opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. But now I know I've been able to work with the Filipina amateur national team, and they're really good. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get to see them in 2016 in Rio and capture a gold medal for us.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We still have yet to get the elusive gold medal for the Philippines in the Olympics, but maybe you can help with the first one. Okay. From your success in boxing, you said, okay, you know what, I've succeeded. I've gotten some belts. I'm good. Let's try MMA. What made you decide? Okay, what made you decide to dabble into that? I know you're a black belt and all this kind of stuff, but what made you decide I'm going to step into the octagon?
Well, just being able to watch ONE FC grow at such a rapid pace, I got to talk with Victor Cui, the CEO of ONE FC, and he offered me this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where I can do both MMA and boxing. So I figure you only live once. There's not many fighters that are doing that right now, and I'd love to have the opportunity to win a title both in boxing and in MMA.
Your last fight here, what did it mean for you to fight in the Philippines in ONE FC with the home crowd cheering you on?
It was a long time coming, and it was so electrifying. I mean, it's winning my first world boxing title versus actually fighting in front of all my kababayans here in the Philippines. It's to me it's tied in first place.
Wow.
It was such a remarkable feeling. I mean, just to be able to stand there and fight, perform in front of 20,000 Filipinos, in the Philippines. I mean, this is my parents' hometown, and it was just thrilling. And that card was stacked with a lot of Filipino fighters, who all won, by the way. And it was an epic moment.
What is it about? Because I asked the same question to Brandon Vera, who's also going to be in this card. And I asked him, why does it mean so much for fighters, for athletes, to perform in the motherland, in the Philippines, even though they grew up in the States and spent most of the time there? Why does it mean so much to be able to perform here?
For me, I think it's the camaraderie. Filipinos were all over the world, and just to be able to congregate in a sport arena where we can actually showcase our skills with other Filipino fighters. I mean, just to have that kind of feeling is that identity that comes about. It brings out pride, that fierceness you want to bring out, you want to represent. Yeah. So for me, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, when they asked you, when Brandon was here, it was really, there was nobody else on the card. It was Brandon Vera, and then we didn't know who else was going to fight. How easy was it for you to say, okay, I want to be part of that, December 5?
I mean, as easy as Victor Cui giving the okay, Matt Hume finding me an opponent, so yeah.
Speaking of your opponent, I know we have to go on a break really quickly, but speaking of your opponent, what do you know about her, and have you studied film, or what's your preparation like?
She was a little hard to find on YouTube or any of her fights online, and you know, I'm lucky to have a camp where I got to team up with Coach Ricky Lindell, who's very good at grappling, and I feel like that's one of the things I needed to get better at since I have my boxing hands, and now I'm able to have a little bit of the wrestling and a little bit of the jiu-jitsu background with it. So, you know, I'm looking forward to showcasing more of an overall game plan.
Like, you know, you're a boxer, you're a black, you know, you have all these things, but how is your ground game?
It's definitely getting there. Again, I said I was really lucky to find someone like Coach Ricky Lindell, who's just amazing at it. I mean, he's a multi-world champion for grappling, and he's has such a high resume for the ground game, and he's such a great teacher where he's able to teach a striker how to work on the ground. Yeah.
Was it hard to get that mentality that, you know, because when you're standing up, it's really different than when you're on the ground. I mean, how do you get that out of that mentality?
Honestly, I think it's just with good teaching. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, now, would you fight a guy or a lady with the name Axe Murderer?
I say, let's bring it. I'll bring a chainsaw.
What's your favorite? Aside from the Hurricane, what's your favorite nickname?
Man, that should be an easy one. It's always fun to be able to say Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Let's go, Pac-Man.
And there's nobody else that can have it.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
There's nobody else.
It's so classic.
It's classic, and he's going to go down in history like him as one of the greatest boxers of all time, if not the greatest boxer of all time.
For sure.
But good luck, December 5. Please invite everybody out there to come down to the Mall of Asia Arena, support you, and support 1FC.
Everyone, come on out to the Mall of Asia Arena, December 5th. It's fully stacked with a lot of Filipino fighters. I'll be fighting, Edward Foliang will be fighting, Brandon Vera will be fighting, and it's an event you don't want to miss. And you may want to check in for tickets because I hear it's selling out quickly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. The country is behind you once again for this coming Friday. Good luck.
Thank you.